endless deserts and deep gorges. Along the old Silk Road, we travel by train through a mysterious country, Uzbekistan. The former Soviet Republic is a country offering both 1001 Nights and communist-style prefabricated homes, twins in uniform, and some very special camel driving techniques. Tashkent, capital of the Presidential Republic of Uzbekistan, founded only in 1991. In 1966, it was the victim of a devastating earthquake. It was rebuilt in the modern Soviet style. Now massive transport routes crisscross the city. The main train station is located in the city centre. Waiting on Platform 1 is the so-called Silk Road Express. Engine driver Ahmal Khuja Yuldashev checks everything once again so that the train can leave on time at 8 a.m.
Even as a child, I dreamed of becoming a train driver because my father was one. He drove old Soviet machines. The working conditions were really tough back then. Today, everything is much better and more comfortable.
The railroad is still a lifeline for Uzbekistan and its 33 million inhabitants. It takes about 20 hours to go from Tashkent across the country to the east to the former shores of the Aral Sea. The road network is poor in Uzbekistan and flying is expensive. Because of this, most people just take the train. Uzbekistan is located in the heart of Central Asia, between Afghanistan and Kazakhstan. Our journey takes us from the capital, Tashkent, towards Samarkand, along the Gissar Mountains and further to Bukhara, and across the desert to the almost dried up Aral Sea. Water is the greatest treasure of this dry country. In the 1970s, several dams were built on the slopes of the Tian Shan Mountains, which still fulfill Tashkent's water needs today. But there's not just water in these mountains. Hidden deep within them is a secret that the Soviet Union guarded for decades. In the 1940s, uranium was discovered here. For the miners, a top-secret city was built out of the ground. Today, it looks like a ghost town. The Silk Road Express has left the mountains behind and is now moving through increasingly sparse vegetation.
The construction of the railroad began here more than 100 years ago. In Soviet times, the railway network was the highest priority, and there still is a lot of construction going on.
Thousands of years ago, caravans traveled along the banks of the Zarafshan River to the east and west. It's the lifeline of probably the most legendary city in Central Asia, Samarkand. The center of the city, Registan Square. Today, a popular spot for photos, and in the 15th century, the site of the most prestigious university in the Islamic world. Uzbekistan is considered a police state, and recently even has special police for tourists. Twins Fatima and Zuhra were actually English teachers before they joined the police. Their beat, the Registan.
To wear a uniform, it was a dream from our childhood, and opening new department, the tourist police department, we were the first who started to work here. So I thought it's me, and I took my sisters with.
This place was a hub for mathematics and astronomy in the 15th century. Shah-e-Zinda is a magical place. For 600 years, the necropolis has been hanging on the hills over Samarkand. Muezzin Abdugani calls the faithful to prayer. The large tomb lies within the twins' precinct.
Because we work in this place, historical place, and when we have a nice relationship, I may say relationship, then work will be easy. If some troubles happened with tourists, we may work together.
During Soviet times, the 11 mausoleums were left to decay, but recently they've undergone extensive restoration.
Bundan oldinlari O'zbekiston mustaqillikka erishishdan oldin
in the past, life as a devout Muslim was very difficult. There were only a few mosques in which one could pray. There was hardly any possibility to train as a muezzin. Today there are 2,000 mosques in Uzbekistan, and new ones are still being built. Every Muslim can once again freely and openly practice their beliefs.
Muezzin Abdugani is also responsible for the care of the tombs. The most important place in the complex, the Tomb of Abbas, who is said to have brought Islam to Samarkand.
For me, it is always a deep feeling of gratitude that I am given the honor of serving here. This is a holy place because Abbas, who lies here, was the Prophet's cousin.
It's evening in Samarkand. To the east of Samarkand, mountains rise abruptly from the landscape. Here once stood the magnificent palace of Timur, who conquered all of Central Asia in the 14th century. The Gissar Mountains are the westernmost foothills of the Himalayas. Here, over millions of years, the deepest caves in the world were formed. Speleologists Vladimir Dolgi and Pavel Baer are on their way to uncover a great secret. Heading down into this canyon. From here, it's less than 100 kilometers to Afghanistan. The Silk Road Express is now heading west again. Everyone has their own way to pass the time. Of course, food is also important on such a long trip, and it's served at their seats. Like everywhere in the country, the national dish pilaf is on the menu. Rice with carrots and meat cooked on a coal stove. The train is now entering the next famous city, Bukhara. The oasis of Bukhara is said to have been inhabited as early as 500 BC. It was once famously rich and one of the most important stops on the Silk Road. Bukhara lies some 2,800 kilometers northeast of Jerusalem, yet it's home to one of the oldest Jewish communities in the world. The first Jews from this ancient community are said to have settled here after the Babylonian captivity, around 500 BC. Even 100 years ago, the Jewish community contained more than 25,000 members. By the early hours of the morning, the Silk Road Express has reached the edge of the Kizilkum, Uzbekistan's Great Desert.
My father used to tell me how hard the work was, especially on long-distance trips. The sun shone so strongly on the metal roof of the locomotive that it became unbearably hot for the driver. Today it looks completely different. The driver's cab is comfortable and we even have air conditioning.
Kizilkum means red sand. The enormous desert stretches from the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan through Uzbekistan to Kazakhstan. Camels have a good sense of direction and always find their way home. But when? No one knows. Luckily, Kalimjon has a good nose and discovers them grazing on some desert grass.
I really found them. Now I can drive them home to be milked. My sister will be so happy. Everything will be fine.
Kalimjon has an unusual but effective driving technique. In the blistering heat, the train crosses the biggest river of Uzbekistan, the Amudarya. Inside, everyone is exhausted. And the onboard restaurant has already closed.
After I've cleaned everything up, it's back to square one for the return trip. Again, I will prepare fresh pilaf, beefsteaks, mastava and meatballs, so that our guests have something to eat. Sometimes passengers have extra requests, and I try to fulfill those as well.
For the 35-year-old train driver, the shift is also slowly coming to an end.
I got married in 2012 and had a son. He's in the 3rd grade and loves everything about trains. He's constantly playing with his little diesel and steam locomotives. When I come home, he always asks, "Dad, where have you been? How was your trip?" He's just interested in everything. If he becomes a train driver someday, that would make me very proud.
The Silk Road Express has almost reached its destination, Nukus, the former gateway to the Aral Sea. A little further north once lay the world's 4th largest inland lake. Starting in the 1960s, its tributaries were cut off to irrigate large cotton fields. Today, its coast is just a rock face in the desert. Not far away, the former port city of Moynak. Back in the 1980s, it was still located on a peninsula surrounded by water. Most of the people here survived by fishing. Today, their boats lie in the desert sand near the former harbour. Erosion of the sand is now the main problem in the region. A few years ago, a large project was started with the aim to make the desert green. Shahri is studying environmental science in Tashkent and is one of the first to witness the project's success. The water of the Aral Sea. A puddle compared to its former glory, but still impressive. Vladimir's father is still a fisherman, and he himself has a very special connection to the water.
Come on, we're going swimming.
No, not me.
Hello, Aral Sea. Here is your son, Vladimir. Whenever I am here, my heart tells me I have to go into the water. My whole life is connected with this water, this sky and this earth. I love being here because nobody knows how long the last remains of the sea will exist.
Despite his moving words, he can't persuade Shahri to join him. From the remains of the Aral Sea, across dusty deserts to the green highlands of the Gissar Mountains, Uzbekistan, a land of extremes.